born in County Durham in England, way up in the north of England. Went from school into the Merchant Navy, from the Merchant Navy into the Army, the Canadian Army. And when I came out of the Army, I did a load of pretty shitty jobs for about a year, then went to university. Back then, Vietnam War was raging down its last couple of years, and students all over Europe and over mostly America and Canada as well were always on riot about the war in Vietnam. It was a waste of time getting any of them to think of doing anything in terms of studying. They were too busy protesting. So it just bored me. On top of which I was married, and that was getting pretty boring too. I started off just as an ordinary sailor. And the first few years I was sailing on fairly small sailing boats, yachts. Then from that I graduated to, hey, come on you, hey, get out Throgmorton.
That's gonna make for interesting. You gotta leave that part in there.
It's probably the most interesting part of the interview. Anyway, then I started back at sea in 1970, and in '79 I got my captain's license. And since then I've been sailing, or after that, for about 40 years. Then came here with a boat that was going to be refitted. And I was in partnership with another guy. We were here in St. Augustine for a year at Exonades Marine on Riberia Street. And we got the boat in beautiful condition. And about a week before we were going to sail to Australia for the America Cup races that they had down there in Perth, the DEA came storming aboard, waving guns and screaming, you know. However, they arrested the boat and seized it and threw him in jail. It turned out there was a warrant for his arrest. He'd been working with the largest heroin ring that had operated in America up to that time. We ran into an unnamed storm, hit a friend and I. We were going around doing another delivery from St. Augustine up to Connecticut again. And we were just off Cape Hatteras, and this storm came whizzing out of the northwest, coming not like hurricanes which are coming from the seaward side. This is coming off the shore. And we tried to get as far away from the shoreline as we could, because that's the most dangerous place to be, is close to shore. We were about 75 miles off Cape Hatteras, and we had just gone around it. We were just heading north, up towards Norfolk. And that's where we were going to try and get into Norfolk. And we got smacked by a rogue wave and capsized. And the boat went over 180 degrees, so the mast was pointing straight at the bottom of the sea, and the keel was sticking up looking at the sky, and we were walking on the inside of the cabin roof for about 3 to 4 minutes in actual time. And then the boat righted itself, and went. We figured we were about 30 foot under the water surface for the whole time we were upside down. When the boat righted itself, all the water that the boat had taken on when it turned over sloshed back round again and blew the windows out from the inside. And because we'd capsized, we didn't have a radio, any way of communicating. And they saw us just by chance, picked us up, and a day later they went back into Norfolk after everything was calm again, and put us on a plane and sent us back to St. Augustine.